空見くん、コロナちゃんが来たみたいだよ。
The return! She has come back after all these days. Korona has come back to the store and graced us with her presence. My room has been so lonely without you, Korona. Kotaro was barking outside again. It seemed as though the manager had started associating Kotaro's barking with Korona arriving. But if that's her only tell, or like, you know, if that's the only reason why she thinks Korona's here, it can also be Saya. Yesterday, he was barking because Saya was here. Wow, you can actually tell the difference? Well, I guess that's why she's her owner, right? Or she's Kotaro's owner. I couldn't hear any difference, but she was probably right, which meant that Kotaro was outside. Maybe it's actually more like an aggressive bark, right? An aggressive bark whenever Korona is here, and it's more like a woof woof, hey Saya. I don't know, there's a more friendlier bark whenever Kotaro sees Saya. Maybe it's that, cause I feel like, cause Kotaro knows, right? I feel like dogs can probably tell when sort of people are scared of them, right? But Kotaro is actually, I'm pretty sure Kotaro is like the best, nicest dog in the world. And he's just barking at Korona like, woof woof, I'm not a bad dog, woof woof, come play with me, woof woof, you know? And somehow the owner is able to tell the difference between those two barks. I suppose I'll punch out then. Thank you. I took off my apron and handed it to her before walking outside. There we go again. Yep, the store owner was right. Korona, over here! Come over here to safety! I'm rescuing you. Even though I don't know why you would need rescue from such a cute, adorable doggy like Kotaro. Korona darted behind me to get away from the dog. Ha! He's like, aw, you're ruining my fun, Akito. What the fuck, dude? Kotaro seemed to be confused at Korona's sudden disappearance. I know you just want attention, but you shouldn't bark so much. Or maybe Kotaro thinks this is like a magic act, like, whoa! What the fuck? Where did Korona disappear to? She just vanished. And then like that, and then she stuck her head behind me again to look at Kotaro and like, woof, I saw her! Kotaro seemed to really like Korona, but he wasn't doing a very good job of showing it. That should be a goal for this route, okay? Try and get Korona to be at least a little bit less afraid of Kotaro. Cause Kotaro is the most innocent dog in the world. We'll get going in a minute. Yeah, I'm sure that's the reason why you want to go inside. Just be patient. The bus will be here in a couple of minutes. Wait, what do you mean? What? Korona and I boarded the bus for the Hoshino shopping district when it arrived. Why are you surprised? Did you think we were going to talk in my room? What's wrong with talking in public? Are you afraid? She still didn't seem to understand what was going on. She'd been looking at me with a nervous expression on her face since we'd gotten on the bus. Oh yeah, you got me, Korona. I'm gonna be scared that you're gonna somehow trick me into kissing you again. I can't be alone with you in my room, Korona. No, that's not it. I just thought we could go out and do something fun today. Do you not want to? But... It's okay, Korona. I'm adjusting. She'd been acting like it wasn't bothering her, but apparently it had. I got the feeling that she was unsure about how to act around me. Of course, it was my idea after all. But if you don't want to go, we can get off the next stop and just head back. Okay, then let's have some fun, girl. Of course she'd spin it that way. I guess she had been trying to consider my feelings as well. It seemed slightly forced, but she approved of the idea enthusiastically. Thanks, Korona. I felt a little relieved. I wanted things to continue this way, so we could get rid of the awkward distance that had formed between us. That's good though, right? It's good because I feel like... Yeah, this is Korona's first time in Harbor Town, huh? Well, at least at this point in the route, yeah, you know. But I feel like the sort of, you know, that whole situation that happened in our room, right? With her like, kiss me, Akito. That can turn a friendship real awkward real quick, right? So I feel like it's actually good that we're trying to somehow, you know, make it so that our friendship doesn't turn awkward despite the fact that it happened. So yeah, we're just trying to, I guess, bridge the gap again. Trying to make sure it doesn't even get awkward. Wait, did I? What, oh no, she said that, okay. I got confused. We got off the bus and stood in the middle of Harbor Town. Korona let out a shout of excitement as she looked around. You've been here plenty of times, haven't you? Oh, she has. Then why the surprise? What do you mean, you win? With what? What competition? It's great that she was happy and all, but I was standing right there. It's okay, it's just funny, cute, what the hell, I win? I'm glad that you're excited. It was way better than her being disappointed. As long as she had fun and was able to go into her test, into her test in a good mood. Oh, this is like extra great, double great. Oh, Korona, she turned this into a date in her mind. For girls in Hoshinonaka, Harbor Town was the big date spot. I mean, that's true, right? We have learned that even from the other routes. Well, primarily the Orihime route. So I'm not even, yeah, you can't even be upset at Korona for thinking this is a date, right? Like, come on, if you take a girl alone to Harbor Town, you can't blame the girl for thinking, ooh, is this a date? Apparently, she came here on a date. It was a pretty big deal. Wait, I am? What the fuck? Oh shit, maybe subconsciously we actually wanted this to be a date as well. Akito, you dog! Well, I can't very well bring a girl to a place like Harbor Town in my normal clothes. Don't worry, you look fine, girl. You look nice in what you're wearing. You never just throw on whatever is easy like I do. Did I never do that before or something? Was it too much? I feel like Korona is very greedy like this, right? Whenever like, yeah, give me more compliments. She did it the same with Orihime too, like, pet me more, Orihime. Pet me more, Hime-chan. You look very cute today. Oh man, this girl. We'd only just arrived and she was already swooning. I was a little worried at where things were going to go from here. Well, we didn't come here to just stand around talking all day. Shall we get going? Korona answered enthusiastically and bobbed along after me as we began walking. That might be a little much. Wait, is it only me? Or like, I feel like holding hands, because the way that Korona phrases it, right? She's making it sound like locking arms is more of a couple thing to do than like holding hands. Whereas I kind of see it the opposite. I don't know about you guys. Maybe it's only me, maybe I'm the weird one here, but like, for me, holding hands sort of stands above locking arms as more of a couple thing, you know, as a thing for couples to do. At least that's how I view it, because like, sometimes, I don't know, my sister does that where she just locks arms with me when we're like in the city when it's busy and she's like a tiny girl and she will get lost if she doesn't like hold on to my arm like that, you know? So I feel like that's not... Whereas holding hands is usually, I mean, sometimes you do it with like your nephew or just kids, you know, guide them, protect them, blah blah blah, right? But for couples, I feel like holding hands is a bit more special than locking arms. I don't know. I can kind of see it either way, but I don't know. I feel like locking arms is something you do probably more frequently with like other girls that you aren't necessarily on a date with or in a relationship with than you would holding hands with a girl that you aren't in a relationship or you know, with? I'm probably a fucky one. She started walking so close that her body was touching mine. I knew it was something a girlfriend would do, but there wasn't much I could do. I guess that would be alright. Compared to locking arms, holding hands didn't seem like a big deal at all. I guess maybe because like, when holding hands, you can technically be at a like longer distance from each other, right? Whereas with locking arms, you're forced. When you're locking arms, you're forced to be like next to each other, right? Her body's right next to mine. Whereas with holding hands, sure, our hands are directly holding and touching each other, but there's more distance usually between your bodies. Maybe that's how they look at it. Alright girl, hold my hand. She jumped up and down in excitement before throwing her arms around me in a hug. I'd only thought about her as a little sister until then, but I couldn't help thinking about the fact that she was a girl as she clung to me. See? It's changing. It's changing inside of his mind, his perception of her. She's no longer... Don't look at her as a little sister, okay? Don't even do that. Korona, calm down. I can't walk like this. She backed off a little though. Oh, that blush. I reached out and took her hand. My first thought was how small her hands were. Teach me. Oh, Korona showed me the proper way to hold hands. Damn, she's teaching me how to hold hands. She stood next to me and grabbed my hand so that we could walk side by side. I guess it is. Thank you for the lesson. Wow, Korona taught me how to properly hold hands with a girl. I mean, to be fair, that's probably a more girly thing to know because they might watch like, I don't know, like dramas, romantic, animes, TV series, whatever, right? They're probably more into that than like the average guy. So guys probably they don't pay much attention to it, whereas with girls, you know, if a couple's holding hands, they're like, ooh, and then they probably study the technique. Oh, when I have a boyfriend, I'm gonna hold his hand like that too. Oh yeah. Having never held someone's hand like this before, it felt fresh. She pulled me forward as if she were the one in the lead. As she did, she used emotion to deftly switch her grip. Damn, Korona's just taking control. Slipping her fingers between mine, she tightens her grip on my hand. That's the thing that I feel like she doesn't come across as a very shy girl, right? Like sure, I mean, stereotypically a lot of just like Asian girls slash in animes or visual novels and the girls, they're like 90% of the girls are always portrayed as sort of more of a shy thing, which comes from primarily a cultural thing, right? But still, Korona doesn't seem to be like that at all. She's very just kind of straightforward. I mean, she's taking the freaking lead right now, you know? Whereas with most girls, it's like, oh, and she might, you know? Usually most girls wait for the guy to make that first move, and then, you know, even after that, they're always just sort of waiting for the guy to do something. Korona does not give a fuck. She just takes control. She takes what she wants. And she is coming for us this route. No, it's fine. She smiled widely and moved to pull me forward once again. Korona, wait! It's not that. No, that's not it. Do you know where we're going? She didn't even, she was like, let's fucking walk around, doesn't matter where, I'm leading you anywhere, Akito. She laughed awkwardly. It seemed more like you were taking me, girl. I thought we'd get some lunch first. Have you already eaten? Don't worry, girl, my treat. She showed me her wallet. Ah, now I just look at like, I imagine her, she's opening her wallet and there's like only 2 coins in there. She had a single 1,000 yen bill and some change. True. Don't worry, I'm paying today. This time, I opened my wallet to show her, look! Look how thick and fat my wallet is with the cash I earned from the convenience store.
おお、諭吉だ。
Oh yeah, $10,000, well, yen. I don't usually carry around this much, but today is
で
special.
もいいの？アキ兄に出してもらうのは気が引けるんだけど。
Then just think of it as an apology for the other day. How's that? I figured Korona would be more willing to agree to that than if I had tried saying it was a guy's job to pay in a situation like this.
ごちそうになろうかな。アキ兄、ありがとうございます。
This time, she thanked me properly without getting overly excited. She really was a good kid. I was starting to understand why Orihime had taken such a liking to her. It took more than cuteness and a bubbly personality to win over Orihime. Because I certainly didn't have any of those things. We headed to the restaurant district of Harbor Town. It was just about lunchtime, so it was crowded with people. Most of the restaurants had lines of people waiting outside, but we managed to find a health food restaurant with some open seats. Wait, what? A health food restaurant? What is that? Vegan? Lunch cost me 1,850 yen, but that was to be expected here.
ごちそうさまでした。
That was good.
お野菜とかすっごく新鮮でよかったな。
Oh yeah, the freshest veggies. It kind of does sound like we went to like a vegan or a vegetarian restaurant or something. To be honest, the restaurant had been a little too classy for me. Korona seemed to be used to eating this kind of food though. I guess this is what it means to be from a rich family. What? Is Take's family and like Korona's family rich? I just thought they weren't that rich. They were at least definitely not compared to like... Because that's the thing that Korona was worried about, right? That she wasn't from a rich family when she were to transfer to Mako Academy compared to all the other Mako girls there. I couldn't help sighing at the thoughts. Well then, shall we move on to the next location? I thought we could go to the planetarium next. What do you think? Always to the planetarium?
いいけど、それはアキ兄が行きたいんじゃないの？
Is that obvious, huh?
いいよ。コロナもプラネタリウム好きだし、みよみよ。
You do? Korona had been here before, but it would be my first time. Orihime had invited me to come, but our schedules never seemed to line up, and we'd never gotten to chat. Yep, and that's why we're in the Korona route now.
アキ兄、プログラムは2種類あるみたいだよ。
Uh-oh, which one are we going to? The couple one? We were checking the times outside. There was one show every hour, and it looked like they rotated between the two
どっ
shows.
ちがいいかな。迷っちゃうよね。
There's no way to know which is better without watching them. Let's just go to the next show.
そうだね。
It's probably gonna be the couple one, isn't it? Luckily, the next show was starting soon. We bought our tickets and went to browse the gift shop until then.
行こう、アキ兄。
Coming! Korona grabbed my hand and pulled me along. Somehow, things had settled into her leading again. Dang, girl. Taking charge, I like it. Means I don't have to do shit. Comes in handy when you're lazy as fuck. Yeah. So this is the planetarium. After entering the dome, my voice just slipped out unconsciously. The white ceiling overhead would turn into space, and the rustic-looking projector would give birth to countless
ワ
stars.
クワクするよね。
It sure looks impressive.
あ、ほら、こっちだよ。行こう。
She led the way to the seats we'd chosen when we bought the tickets. See, girl, she's even like, alright, we're gonna sit here, blah blah blah. Normally the guy would choose that, right? In most cases, at least. Damn, I'm liking Korona already, you know? It's just a nice change of pace. It's something different. The seats were nice and soft, and they were quite comfortable. And it's also, and she is the younger one in the situation too, right? Like, god damn,
こっ
Korona.
ちのレバーを引いてみて。
The what now? What? This what?
クライニン
Whoa!
グだよ。倒すか起こすかだけで、真ん中はないから気をつけて。
Oh yeah, I got one of those too. I got one of those chairs. I'm not gonna pull it though, but I have a lever here where if I pull it, my seat basically goes backwards. I can pretty much kind of lay in this chair. It's fucking amazing. This is way different than the seats on a train or a bus. Everything was brand new to me. Korona seemed to be enjoying. Seemed to be what? seemed to be enjoying surprise. Oh, that she enjoys surprising us. Oh, like that. Korona seemed to be enjoying the fact that she's surprising us. So she kept showing me all sorts of
前来
things.
た時に姫ちゃんが教えてくれたんだ。
Now she's teaching
例
us.
えばあれ、あのでっかいやつ。なんでも超古い骨董品みたいな機械らしいよ。
It sure looks old. It looked like an antique. Projectors these days were compact and stylish, but this one looked like something straight out of the industrial age.
古くても性能はいいんだって。詳しいことはコロナもよくわかんないけど。
I think the show is about to start. Shh. One of the employees had come out and was explaining some of the safety rules. What safety rules? We're just sitting in the chair though, right? The only thing we possibly need to know. Right, here's the fire exit in case, I don't know, the stars come falling out of the sky despite the fact that it's a projection. The lights soon dimmed to black, causing the emergency exit lights to seem excessively bright. That green exit sign is really distracting.
始まったらちゃんと消えるよ。
Oh, that's good. Finally, the show is about to start. I'm ready.
ただいまより冬季特別プログ
Oh,
ラ
it
ム
is!
恋の神話のシンフォニーをお送りします。
It is the couple program, Symphony of Love and Legend. Appropriate for the atmosphere of Harbor Town, this seemed to be a program aimed at couples. It was probably going to be a bunch of mushy love stories and legends about the stars. Glancing around, I realized that the audience was mostly made up of couples. I suppose we probably looked like just another one to them.
皆さんこんにちは。月浦美琴です。今日は素敵な神話の世界へご案内したいと思います。
This is... I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure this is Orihime's mom, right?
うわ、月浦美琴のやつなんだ。
Yep, it's Orihime's mom. Do you know her?
昔のアイドルかなんかだったと思うよ。超綺麗なの。
I see. Unfortunately, I didn't know much about the entertainment world, so I never even heard the name before.
では早速星の世界に旅立ちましょう。ミュージックスタート。
Stato. The narration seemed to draw you in as light background music began to play. It seemed like a little much for enjoying the graceful night
ちょうど
sky.
季節は冬。星たちもより一層輝きを増していきます。澄んだ空気に天高く立ち上っていく白い息。その先には瞬く星たちが夜空を彩っています。そんな時、あなたの隣には誰がいますか？家族かな？それとも兄弟？
Is this...
もしかすると恋人だったりして。
I mean, I was gonna say, is this exactly the same as an Orihime route? But considering this is the recording, right? This is a very kind of old recording of Orihime's mom when she sort of did this show. So yeah, of course it's exactly the same as even in the Orihime route.
今、星を見上げながらその人と手をつないでみてください。
Uh-oh. Yeah, Korona. Huh? I hadn't expected that. I glanced over at Korona, who looked just as surprised as I did.
どうしよう。
I guess we're holding hands. I'm pretty sure if we don't hold hands, we're gonna get kicked out. I'm sure it's fine if we don't do it. They're gonna stop the show. They're gonna turn on the lights. Hey, you assholes in seat 4B and 4C, hold fucking hands right now, or we're kicking you out of here. I'm pretty sure they're gonna do that. It's not like there was any sort of requirement to do what the narration said.
先に。
Aww, she wants to.
もう、そういうのはノリだよ、ノリ。
Alright. Korona quickly reached out her hand and grabbed mine. Damn,
さ
girl.
っきまで手をつないでたじゃん。それに恋人に限定してるわけでもないんだし。
That's true. I guess I was just thinking about it too much. Korona was right. Holding hands in a planetarium wasn't a big
君
deal.
は普通にしてればいいよ。でもコロナは違うから。
Aww, because it does mean something to her.
恋人のつもりで握ってるから。
Korona-chan! Korona wasn't trying to force anything on me. But at the same time, there was nobody who could change her own feelings. Maybe I'd been a bit careless. I considered that as I stared at Korona's profile.
緊張する。
A little bit, right? If there's, I mean, obviously it's gonna turn into us liking her at some point. Spoiler alert! Oh fuck! I mean, that's usually what happens when you go into a character's route, right? But like, if you don't like a person and you know that they like you, you shouldn't put yourself in this situation, right? Where she will, where you're kind of forced to do something that will mean something to her, in terms of like her feelings of likingness or loving you, and it doesn't mean anything to you. It's just kind of cruel because you're making her fall in love more with you, even though you are never gonna be with her, you know? Yeah, I've kind of learned that from first-hand experience, where a girl was in love with me for so long, and I was just, it's no big deal, blah blah blah, you know? But she was friends with another friend of mine that I hung out with, and wait, that friend had a girlfriend, and his girlfriend's friend liked me, and then like it became this, yeah, a huge shit show for a quite long time, where I should have just told her immediately. Yeah, it just comes down to that. So if you have no intention of ever being with someone, it's best to let them know early rather than just, you know, wait it out, or whatever other reason you're trying to delay things, to not tell them immediately. Her last comment had been so determined, but now she sounded hesitant. I relaxed at that. You shouldn't force yourself so much. Korona's trying to look tough on the outside, but she was really giving this her best effort. Seeing her trying so hard was kinda cute. I wanted to give something back in return. Korona. I squeezed her hand lightly. Her eyes seemed to be asking if I was really okay with this. I didn't say anything in response. Instead, I just gave her hand another light squeeze, as if my hand said yes.
皆さん、手はつなぎましたか？つなぐ相手のいない方は、そうですね。私と手をつなぎましょう。
To be fair, I would come to this show again alone just to hold Mikoto Shakura's hand, right? I would hold Orihime's mom's hand, okay?
はい、どうぞ。なかなか大人気ですね。私も。まだまだ捨てたもんじゃないみたいです。
Oh, this joke again. It is a pretty good joke, to be fair. That drew some laughter from the audience. Neither one of us laughed, however. Korona seemed to be preoccupied with what was going on to enjoy the show, and I was too busy worried about her to concentrate.
では、全員つないだところで、神話の旅にレッツゴー!
Mythical journey. Whoa, what the fuck? Oh shit. The projector whirred to life, and the stars began to move, as if being fast-forwarded. I just wonder what that bright flash was all of a sudden. We should have been soaring off into a world of stars at the moment, but we weren't. Wait, are we like too much focused on each other that we're not even looking up anymore? And before long, I heard Korona whisper something beside me. Korona, what? Oh, girl! What? Oh, man. She's confessing to us right now? Damn, Korona. I would just pretend that I hadn't heard that. Ah, dude! This is like kind of the kiss all over again, but obviously a bit different, right? She's not forcing us to do any actions. She's not forcing us to kiss her back or anything, but still, she is confessing to us right now, and like, we're just gonna pretend not to hear it? I mean, yeah. I mean, Akito is in a state of flux, right? He doesn't even know what the fuck is going on. Yeah, damn. Or at least what he wants to do with Korona, because it feels like it's just changing. At some point, he's gonna see her in the correct way, in the womanly way. I couldn't ignore it, however. With those 3 words, my entire mind was filled with nothing but thoughts of Korona. God damn it. Just like that, just like during the show, I love you. After the show ended, we stopped by the gift shop once more. It was already after 3 o'clock when we finally stepped back outside. The winter sun was already beginning to dip into the western sky. Evening would be here soon.
いっぱい堪能しちゃったね。
The planetarium is better than I had
気に入
imagined.
ってば終わってもなかなか立ち上がろうとしないんだもん。どうしようかと思っちゃったよ。
I was just thinking, what the fuck do I do with what you just told me earlier? Sorry, I got a little caught up in the show, liar. I'd severely underestimated the show. I thought it'd just be some flashy mush aimed at couples, but it had been great.
ああいうのも悪くないよね。
She made no reference to the hand-holding. Yeah, it was really interesting.
この後はどうするの？
We both had a strange sense of satisfaction, like something had been completed. We should probably get going soon. If we're out too late, your parents will start to worry.
コロナ、そんなに子供かな？
Aww. No, I didn't mean it like that. Right now is a really important time for you. That's why everybody is worried about you.
アキ兄も？
Of course, even me.
今日のデートも。
Uh-oh. An attempt at cheering up somebody with a big test coming up. I could almost feel the disappointment emanating from her. Was that really Akito's intention? That because of what happened last time that Korona was feeling sad, right? And we only took her out today to cheer her up so that she wouldn't purposely flunk her test or something like that, right? Or the previous event with like the kissing stuff, right? That would somehow, you know, obviously that would make her sad or affect her in some way, and we don't want that event to affect her grades or the big test. So we're just trying to cheer her up so that she performs well on the test again. Was that really the only reason? No, that's not quite it. Because if we tell her that, I'm pretty sure she's gonna be mad too. I heard you before, so it's true that my main goal is to try and cheer you up. But that's not the only reason. I realized that you don't like being treated like a kid anymore, so I was trying to show you that I'm not. I'm not really good at this sort of thing, so I don't know if it worked. I was really trying though. That's a better reason. I like that reason better. Show her that she's not a little kid anymore, right? So please cheer up. I want you to do well on your test. Here, this is my present to you. I handed her a package, complete with a ribbon. Damn, we bought her a package too? Where have you been hiding it this whole time, Akito? What the fuck?
これって。
I wanted to give you something that would last. I couldn't think of what that should be, but I found something back at the planetarium. When I saw it, I knew it would be perfect. Oh, we bought it at the gift shop there?
ありがとう。アキ兄。
That makes more sense, but then we must have like sneaked off and bought it when Korona wasn't looking? She took it from me cautiously, as if it was something
開け
precious.
てみていい？
No, no. I bought you a gift that you can't open up. You just have to leave it wrapped, and that's it. That's my present to you. Go ahead. Korona undid the wrapping
これっ
carefully.
て。
Book. Oh, cool. It's a photo album. They're all images taken with the Hubble Space Telescope.
へえ。
The cover was an image of the Crab Nebula. Ah. Damn, that looks awesome. But at the same time, I feel like it could kind of look as if you're like looking at an organism through a telescope or something like that, right? Or something out of the ocean. The wide gradation of color conveying the strangeness of unknown space.
望遠鏡で見るようなのとは全然違うんだね。
It's a space telescope after all. It's on a whole different level than a personal telescope. Not even a national astronomical observation of Japan could compete with the Hubble telescope. But it doesn't matter how amazing the Hubble telescope has been. I just wanted to show you that there is more out there than you know. I wasn't trying to show off how great the telescope was. That's just a bonus. Even without knowing about it, there was a whole other world out there beyond what we could see. The first time I looked at the moon through a telescope, I was moved. And since then, I've seen all sorts of things in the heavens with my own eyes. I've lost count of how many times I felt that way, and there are still things left that will make me feel the same. This is one of those things. now that the Hubble had been announced, decommissioned, there were parts of space that would no longer, there were parts of space that we would no longer be able to see. Its successor, the James Webb Space Telescope, had come into operation, but it was only able to detect infrared light. Wow, that's not cool. And the name sucks. James Webb Space Telescope. I like the Hubble better. Hubble sounds cool. Unlike the Hubble, and it rolls easier off the tongue. Hubble. It was unable to take images in the range of light visible to human eyes. There would no longer be a telescope capable of seeing what the Hubble Space Telescope had seen, and might never be again. That's sad. This kind of looks like two Kamehamehas clashing with each other or something like that, you know? Or like two Hadokens. She started flipping through the pages. They were filled with colorful images of astronomical phenomena, overflowing with color and light. They were unlike anything else. Pretty cool, huh? There were galaxies, nebulae, and supernova explosions. Faint light from stars tens of thousands of light years away. The Hubble had shown us all sorts of truths about the universe. Well, there are some things you can see, and others you can't. The Hubble could see more than one kind of light. Outside of the visible spectrum, it could also take images in ultraviolet and the near-infrared ranges. Yep, that's right. The other two are outside the visible range of a human eye. Most of the images taken by the Hubble telescope are within the visible spectrum, but it's taken plenty of ultraviolet and infrared images as well. That's actually a good question. How can you see something that you can't see? The images are representations that have colors added to them to show you kind of what it would look like. It's just like based on the other information that isn't visible with the eye. Obviously there are other informations you can draw from something, right? Like sound, for example. You don't hear sound, but you can kind of tune. I mean maybe in slow motion you can hear, like, you can see sound waves to an extent probably, but you know what I mean, right? Just because you can't see something doesn't mean it exists, or doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And it doesn't also mean that there aren't other types of information that we can gather from something, and from that information we can sort of guess or base what it would look like. No, they are real. All of it is actually up there, looking at something that human eyes can't see. Isn't that kind of exciting? Hubble had left an enormous impact on the world of astronomy. It was sad that its time was over, but we would continue moving forward. Technology would continue to improve, and eventually we will reach parts of space that even the Hubble could not have taken us. The passionate, steady progress forward into the unknown. That was something wonderful. Korona, I know that you still don't know much about astronomy, but this is what is out there, deep in space. I wanted you to see how amazing it could be for yourself. I wasn't sure if I'd been able to properly express myself. I wonder what Korona was feeling. Whenever you take a break from your studies, I would be happy if you would flip through this and think about what space has to offer. Don't thank me. Thank the stars. Sorry, I thought that would sound pretty cool. I tried to make a little joke at the end, but after actually saying it out loud, I was a little embarrassed. It was a little corny, a little bit. That's actually true. That's true. If you say something corny or whatever, right, or cool, just roll with it. If you start apologizing for it, like, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that, that makes it less of whatever the fuck it was. Really? Did it go doki doki? You think you'll be able to focus on your studies again? Good. Korona gave me a bright, beaming smile, and today was a success.
的に迷惑かもしれないけどまた勉強しに行っていいかな
I guess, sure, we can give it another try. Of course, you're welcome anytime. Our relationship had been strained recently, but it seemed to be back to normal. I was sure she would be able to focus on her studies again. I could tell by the way she smiled up at me.
こんにちは
What the fuck, Hinami? Hey, Hinami!
おーひなみいらっしゃい上がって上がって
Oh, Hinami is visiting
邪
Korona.
魔します
Right, cause they're friends.
適当なとこ座っていいから今お茶とお菓子持ってくるね
Cause I was thinking like, hey, Hinami, but like, Hinami appears only in the Saya routes, like the year after, right? Because she joins Hoshino Daiichi and also then decides to join the Hoshino Daiichi Astronomy Club, right? But at that point, that means that if it was at the same time right now, that would mean Korona would be in Meiko Academy, but she isn't yet. This is before then. This is before Hinami even joins Hoshino Daiichi. So they were friends before then, That may actually have, that probably was mentioned like before in the Saya route and I just completely missed it or forgot about it. Either way, it's yeah, Korona and Hinami.
お構いなく
They're friends. I mean, it was mentioned, yeah, I remember that it was mentioned for sure, but like, I'm just a little surprised. I did not expect to see or even hear about her, especially at this point in the story. Hinami Yamada. I call her Hinamin. She was a good friend of mine.
はいはいそこ奥から手伝って
I just set the tray in the middle of the carpet, and we sat down on either side of
ミルク
it.
ティーだけどよかったかな
Milk tea?
いいけどコロナどうしたの何が以前は遊びに来ても緑茶かほうじ茶しか出てこなかった
So you think something's wrong? Like, huh? What? You're offering milk tea now? What the fuck?
そうかな玄米茶の時もあったと思うけど
Brown rice green tea? What the fuck is that?
否定はしないでも紅茶しかもミルクティーが出てきたことはない
Is it really such a big deal what kind of tea you were drinking?
何があったの
What happened? Like, what the fuck? We're not drinking green tea? What the hell? Are you okay, Korona? Are you sick? What the fuck? Milk tea?
名工の先輩に美味しいミルクティーの入れ方を教えてもらったのです
See, Korona is learning. She's being taught by the Meiko girls.
あ
When I had asked Hime about it, Yoshi had found some time to teach me. I figured that if I was going to be a student at Meiko Academy, I needed to know how to make a more refined tea.
コロナはすっかり名工っ子だね
Well, I mean, she kinda has to if she's gonna go to school there.
形から入るタイプなので美味しい
Yeah, it has the Hinami approval.
飲み方もあるんだよこうやって
You gotta lift your pinky in the air, right? I tried copying Hime's more polished way of drinking. What's with that smug look on her face? They're like, I was nowhere near her level yet, but someday I would be as refined as her.
優雅だね見た目だけなら囚われの令嬢みたい
What, an imprisoned? What, an imprisoned young woman?
令嬢はいいけどなんで囚われてるのさ
Yeah, I don't get the imprisoned part
危
either.
険という名の牢獄に囚われているのです
But is a prisoner allowed to go to the house of the guy that they love to study there?
なるほどね
But yeah, I get the feeling as a student. Sometimes you do feel like a prisoner, right? Right? We all know that feeling. Hinamin was a bit odd. I couldn't always understand what she was thinking. Oh yeah, I remember that part where she thinks weird stuff sometimes about like death and destruction, and then she does it in just sort of like a cute way in some weird, I don't know. She was pretty weird. I remember that part. She was quick-witted though, so she was always saying interesting things. She seemed different than the other girls our age, which is why we become
そ
friends.
れで話って何？わざわざ日曜に呼ぶんだからそれなりに大事な話だと思ってるんだけど。
Oh, Korona invited Hinami over.
実はひなみんにぜひ見せてあげたいものがあってね。じゃ
Oh,
ーん！宇宙の写真集だよ。
oh, she's showing that. Oh, she's showing off the book I bought her.
あ
Her voice was a bit soft, but I could tell she was still impressed. With Hinamin, you had to judge her reaction based on the sparkle in her eyes, rather than the tone of her voice. Yeah, with her voice is always, she's very monotonous, right? It always sort of stays the same. Whether she's happy, surprised, sad, angry, it'll always be like the same tone, the same voice.
ー、何これ？表紙からしてすごいんだけど。これはカニ星雲だよ。カニ星雲。え、何？
She's like, wow, the crab nebula. Wait, what the fuck is that? I figured she wouldn't know. To be fair, I didn't really know what it was
カ
either.
ニ星雲はね、超新星爆発の残骸。
You can tell Corona's like desperately trying to remember what I told her about it.
もしかしてコロナもよく知らない？
She's like, not exactly. I remember a couple of things that Akito told me.
しょうがないじゃない。この本昨日もらったばっかなんだもん。
It was true. Aki had given it to me as a present
そ
yesterday.
れってもしかして愛しのアキ兄にもらっちゃった。昨日ハーバータウンでデートしてきたんだよ。
Ah, you're bragging, huh? Bragging to your friend?
信じられない。いつの間にそんな関係に？
Yeah, since when, huh?
恋は一瞬だよ。
Oh, girl, she totally invited her over to brag. Oh, girl, Korona. It really had been only an instant. I'd never been more than a little sister to Aki. He'd always treated me like a child. I thought it would be at least another 2 years before I got a chance to go on a date with him. Damn, Korona was playing the long game, you know? She was ready, like, oh yeah, I'm slowly gonna make my impression on him as a woman, as a lady, to make him not see me as a little girl anymore. But damn, it happened faster than she expected as well.
きっとコロナの勘違い。
Damn, Hinami, you're pretty wise. A little bit. There's a little bit of that.
違うもん。デートだよって言ってくれたもん。
Yeah, but it was kind of because you pressured him into, like, saying it a little bit, Korona? Hadn't he? Now that I thought about it, I wasn't sure that he had ever actually called it that. He just played along with you, because you were like, it's a date, right? It's a date. Oh, it has to be a date. We're in Harbor Town. A date spot for couples. Date, 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 date. And she said it another 100 times. I just gotten overly excited and decided that's what it was on my own. Yep.
とにかくデートなの。
He hadn't corrected me when I called it a date, so it must have been a date. Yeah, definitely a
デ
date.
ートしてこの本をもらったんだ。アキ兄はチョイスが大人だよね。普通小物とかアクセサリーくれたりするのに。
And that is not grown up?
空見先輩は物の分かった人だから。
Oh yeah, yes I do. Hinamin had come to the last observation party, so she knew who he was. Alright, she showed up there too, I guess? Did we see her there though? I don't remember. They never actually spoke, but she knew all about him from everything I told her. She may have just been like a spectator, right? We just never saw her as a character. We never got introduced to her as a character, but she was just present because it was a big deal in our town back then, right?
アキ兄はセンスがいいんだよ、センスが。そのセンスのいい空見先輩がどうしてコロナみたいな。
What are you trying to say, Hinami?
カリみたいな言い方するな。どうせコロナはチンチクリンですよ。背もちっこいし、おっぱいもないし。
You got a little bit. You got a little bit. You got some little lady humps. It's okay.
お互い頑張ろう。
Wait. They're both feeling up their own chests like, yeah, We're both the small boobied girls. Uh-oh. They're not entirely flat-chested, but they're kind of small boobied.
そうだね。
How are you gonna work on it though? Like, I'm pretty sure most of like your boobs and whether you get it, big boobs and whatnot, is it genetic? I actually don't know, but it's your like your hormonal stuff during puberty, right? Like to an extent, you can probably gain some weight in your boobs by eating because it's like obviously it's fat, right? It's in boobs, but still, like, it's pretty hard to do without gaining fat everywhere else, and like, yeah. So, how are they even planning on doing this? Working on getting bigger boobs? I don't see how you can do that. It's just mostly you're gifted or not in that department, right? Thanks to Hinamine, I felt like a deflated balloon. I mean, they were never inflated in the first place. Oh shit! I'm sorry. She didn't seem to have any mean intentions, though. Of course not, cause she is exactly the same as you. That's the thing, right? Did I mention this before? But this was a long time ago, where somebody in the comments mentioned that, like, Hinamine and Korona's hair color are very, very similar or representative of, like, the Alborio and the Alborio eyes of Saya as well, right? That's sort of a common theme, right? Obviously Saya's eyes look like the Alborio, and both of their hair colors look like Alborio, and they're friends with each other. So it's that feels like the connection or similarity, right? And well, their body's pretty similar too. Mm-hmm.
それにしてもこの写真集かっこいい。肉眼では見えない暗黒物質を捉えるとは。
See? Wow, that laugh though. Hinami understands.
この重力レンズの歪み、物理法則を超越する高次元のエネルギーを感じる。
She was really getting into this stuff. Yeah, she seems to know a decent bit about it, right? That's because she couldn't resist the draw of the unknown. When I'd taken her with me to the observation party on Christmas Eve, it was like she'd had an awakening. Oh, really? See, that was the whole point of like an observation party like that, right? To raise awareness or to have people be more interested in astronomy. But for like the rare few people, it will like change them forever, right? It would introduce them to something that would change their lives. And I feel like Hinami is one of those people, right? She had an awakening at that observation party, and she fucking loves space now. I felt like she'd gone from a good friend to a really close friend at night as well.
ねえひなみ、写真集を見るのもいいけど、コロナの話も聞いてよ。
Korona's like, pay more attention to me. I still want to brag about Akini, okay?
これを貸してくれたら聞く。
You want to borrow it?
さすがにそれは無理。コロナの宝物だもん。
New treasure? Oh, for some reason I read it as I got this book from my new treasure, and then I thought she called Akito his treasure, or her treasure rather.
じゃあ今度ハーバータウンに付き合って同じの買ってくるから。
Damn, Hinami really wants that book.
それならいいよ。お母さんうるさいからあんまり長く遊べないけど。コロナのお母さんはソロモン王より恐ろしい。
Uh-oh, that's really scary.
ソロモン王？何それ？
Oh, you know who that is. I have no idea.
コロナは知らない方がいい。知ったら後戻りできないから。
Was it like an Egyptian king or something? I didn't really get it, but it was probably better not to dig any deeper. Yeah, if it's something that Hinami knows about and she's telling you that it's better not to know, she means it. It's better not to know.
それよりもアキニーとのデートについてだよ。
See, it's just bragging. That's all. I mean, okay, not really bragging, but like, I mean that those are, girls when they're friends with each other, right? When they're excited about the guy that they like, they sort of gossip or talk with each other about it, blah blah blah. Like, oh yeah, Aki and Mimi went there. Oh, and then both the girls start squealing like, I'm so happy for you. That's how I imagine most girls talking to go like, which is obviously not for everybody, but I've had my experiences with that, okay? I walked into shit like that. I had a sister. I still have a sister, but like obviously we don't live in the same house anymore. But yeah, I've partly lived through that, okay? I know what most girls or some girls do at least when it comes to stuff like that.
具体的に何をしたの？
ハーバータウンでご飯食べたでしょ。それからプラネタリウム見たでしょ。最後にこの写真集をプレゼントしてもらった。
She sounds so excited about the book.
それだけ？
That's it? That's all? That's not impressive.
それだけだよ、もう。
I was aware of the fact that it didn't seem like much when you listed the things we did. But Aki had been with me the whole time, and we talked about all sorts of things. I'd had him all to myself.
Q はしてもらわなかったの？
Hinami asking the important questions.
チューはさすがにまだ早いよ。
A little too fast, but not for lack of trying from Korona.
でもこの前確か
Hey, we do not talk about that anymore.
聞こえません。
I told Hinamin all about my failed attempt at kissing Aki. Oh, she even told her about that. Okay, so they are really, really close, right? To the point where, like, she pretty much tells Hinami everything. Now, she was probably expecting it to happen.
キスはしなかったけど、手は繋いだもん。それに。
And?
それに
And you confessed, right?
これ以上はひなみんにだって言えないよ。
But you even said it then. You said, I love you. I started shifting from side to side. A small war going inside of me. So many important things had happened, and I remembered every single detail. Even a part where I'd secretly told Aki that I loved him. Not much of a secret though, he heard you.
結局私に何をしてほしいの？
Hinamin was almost grumbling now, a blank look on her
一
face.
緒にいて。一人でいるとウキャーってなっちゃうから。
Whoa, don't explode.
分かった。いいよ。隣にいてあげる。
I didn't know why, but I felt like I could relax when Hinamin was around. She wasn't mean to me like my brother, and she didn't get me upset like my mom always did. And she didn't make my chest feel tight like when I was around Aki
コロ
either.
ナ、
何？
頑張ってね。
She never took her eyes off the photo album, but she was rooting for me nonetheless.
ありがとね、ひなみん。
Even if it was only one person, there was somebody cheering me on. I mean, hey, it's better to have one really, really close friend than like 5 people you're like, or a little bit friends with. I felt like even that was enough to give somebody strength. How had Aki felt? I wish I could have been his strength when he was all alone. But I'd just been a child who couldn't do anything.
もう今は違うよ。
Korona's growing up. In fact, she is all grown up.
コロナは逃げない。秋兄を一人になんかしない。
Hinamin just stared at me as I made my
コロ
declaration.
ナ、ちょっと顔こ
Scary.
いいじゃん別に。
コロナは笑ってた方が可愛いよ。
That's true.
うん、知ってる。
And that's why she's smiling right now. I turned toward the mirror in a corner and tried to smile. Maybe like this? No, it should be more like this. Girl, just smile yourself. Don't be so self-conscious. I wonder what Aki would think the next time he saw me. Would he finally see me as a girl? I wished he would look at me and see somebody he wanted to date.
おー、スターバースト銀河、宇宙の風を感じる。
Damn, Hinami's just all about the book. Damn, she's just wrapped up in it. Hinami was completely absorbed in the mysteries of the universe. But that just meant that I had somebody to talk to about it all.
ひなみん、ミルクティーのおかわりいる？
いる。
She's like, hell yeah, I'm only like a quarter through the book. Give me some more tea. I added a little extra sugar, as if to savor this wonderful moment. Just me, Hinamin, and Aki's gifts. It was a nice breather from my studies, and I wanted to enjoy it a little while longer. I like that. seeing how sort of close friends they are. Oh, bling!